Just another brother with another humble question. Just another brother with another humble question.
Welcome to another episode of A Brother with Questions. I am your host, B. Period. I thank you for joining me. We're going to dive into this video tonight from Nancy Pelosi. But before we do, though, let me not forget to ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you know when these videos are dropping. And we'll keep giving you some good content to check out here. So tonight we're going to be reacting to Representative Nancy Pelosi. She's interviewing with MSNBC. And the thing that I want to highlight here is the hypocrisy. Let's highlight her hypocrisy. So we're going to pick up in a little bit in the middle of this interview. I think they're actually almost done, but we're going to listen in as she commenting and sort of responding to a comment from former Attorney General Bill Barr as he was giving his opinion about whether or not he believes when the president suggests that he may kill an opponent or he want to kill, let's say, a reporter or something. He was commenting how he thought all of that stuff was being said in jest. And here she is responding to his comments.
You have to take a look at term limits for the courts or something, but that's neither here nor there. Right now, it isn't what Bill Barr's interpretation is, if he thought he heard it or didn't hear it. What it's important is what Donald Trump has said. Donald Trump is a great threat to our democracy. What is a democracy? What are the pillars? What are the pillars? A free and independent press.
You know, what's interesting is, you know, this seems to be the tagline that people who are in the Democratic Party and people who support the Democratic Party are running with, right? Everybody seems to be on lock and step that Donald Trump is a threat to the democracy. So if we as a people decide to elect Donald Trump again, democracy as we know it is going to go out the door. And I keep hearing this, and I haven't really heard, in my personal opinion, any valid statements that support the idea that another Trump presidency is going to lead to the end of democracy. But yet we keep hearing it. And for me, I'm on it almost seems like this is backfiring in their face. And if in my personal opinion, they need a new storyline. If this is the storyline that he's going to be a threat to democracy, and so because of that, you shouldn't vote for him. To me, it just sounds like a losing theme. And if this is the best you can do, what else do you got? Because it sounds like to me, you guys are on the losing streak right now.
To tell the story of what's going on, to keep everybody informed of what people are saying and doing. That transparency is essential.
So here she is talking about democracy and the need for free press and the need for the press to be able to tell the whole story without interruption. Got it? I hear you, Nancy. That part we can agree on, Nancy. We can agree on that.
Independent judiciary. An independent judiciary, when they're practically threatening on TV exposure of jurors in a trial of the president or any trial, and any of that. What is an independent judiciary? Is about free and fair elections. And what do they do but suppress the vote? So there's nothing in his performance, if that's the word we'll use, what he has done, that would indicate that he cares, prioritizes, or ever valued or did anything to support a democracy. And now,
so, you know, here's another talking point, right? So Donald Trump is the antithesis to democracy. And so we have 4 years to judge on. And so in that 4 years, I would be interested to know what about those 4 years suggests that he does not like democracy. Like, what did he do in 4 years to prove Nancy Pelosi's point that he hates democracy? And so if you have the information, please let me know. Let me know what he did to prove he hates democracy. Now, I'd imagine if you had anything to say, you'd go to the idea that it's, when he lost the election, he claimed that he there was, he claimed that he didn't lose and that there were votes that were lost, and that's the reason why he lost. And so from an argument standpoint, yes, I know he didn't do the traditional White House thing when he left office. Got it. But he left office. So the end goal is that he leave office. There's really no mandate that you have to be a gentleman about it, technically. Yes, he screamed for years and continues to scream that he was cheated out of an election. Got it. But a conversation and a reality that he left office and succeeded the office to the rightful president based on votes proves that he at least knows what democracy works like. So I'm curious to know, where is his pushback against democracy?
Now on the ballot saying he should have immunity from whatever he might do. I mean, really, I have sympathy and respect for everybody who votes. I'm glad people vote. I know some of them will always reject those of us who might look different to them in leadership or the rest, and that's that. But
you see how she did that, though? I thought that was a little slick comment. She didn't say there will always be those who disagree with my ideas. She said there will always be those that disagree with us because of the way we look. As if the way Democrats look is the problem. And what are you saying about people who choose not to vote Democratic when you suggest that it's the way you look that's the problem? Who is the we? What are you really trying to tell us? And I'm not going to speculate on what I think she says or what I think she's insinuating. I have my own thoughts, of course. But she didn't say it, so I'm not going to put it in her mouth. I'm not going to do it like what they do. But I do think it's interesting, her word choice. They don't vote for us because of the way we look. It says more about you, Nancy, than it does them.
There are those who have real legitimate concerns about immigration, globalization, innovation, and what does that mean for their job and their family's future? And we have to address those concerns. And Joe Biden is doing that, created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
I loved how the reporter quickly came back. Well, there was a global pandemic during his presidency, right? But I freeze it here because look at her face. This looks like the face of a woman that wants to go, as my friend might say. B. She does not appear happy that she suggested it was a global pandemic. Let's see her response.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And
I
he
don't
has
think
the
that
worst.
anybody can accuse me of that.
But let me just say.
So here we go. Mind you, 2 minutes ago, in this interview, she was talking about the beauty of the free press and how Donald Trump doesn't want free press to be able to tell the whole story. And here she is highly upset at an MSNBC reporter who had the nerve to suggest that, I hear you when you say he had the worst jobs report of any president, but you have to remember there was a pandemic. Well, I am not going to sit here and listen to a Donald Trump apologist. This is MSNBC. Nancy Pelosi, the last thing anybody's going to accuse MSNBC of is being a Donald Trump sympathizer. But I hear you though, Nancy. You're making it very clear. The free press is cool as long as the free press is telling your agenda. The moment they're not telling your agenda, now they're a Donald Trump sympathizer for giving the whole truth to the matter. Because yes, there have been other incidents under different presidents, but come on now. In the modern era of presidency, there has never been a global pandemic. Never. Ever. So it's a first. And who knows if we'll see it again in the future. But to suggest that he had the worst jobs report, come on, you're not being honest with the people now, Nancy. Because let's go back. As we all know, what led to the bad jobs report? It was the notion that Democrats, mainly, they certainly were at the forefront of this movement, wanted to literally shut the country down for somewhat in California, in New York, right? They were shut down for pretty much about a year, a little bit more than a year. They certainly wanted to shut the entire country down for an extended period of time. They were upset at the time with President Trump, with people like Ron DeSantis, Governor Abbott in Texas, because they were, quote unquote, not taking it seriously, because they only shut down for a couple of months and then they were back open for business. So, of course, you're going to have a bad jobs report when the entire country is shutting down, forcing employers to cut employees because they just couldn't afford to pay them, because nobody was moving and shaking in the country like they had been because of these shutdowns. So, Nancy, is the reporter being dishonest? Or are you being dishonest by not giving the whole truth?
As a Speaker of the House, we put forth a $3 trillion bill, $3 trillion of investment in communities and the rest, and that stimulates the economy.
I just want to ask one more question. This one's on Speaker Mike Johnson.
You can see once she had her point out, she was like, all right, let me move on, because clearly I made her mad. But that's the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. In one breath, you want free press. And in the next breath, you want to berate a reporter for giving the whole truth about a story that you're trying to sell. How dare you tell the truth to the American people about the fact that the reason why he had the worst jobs report is because there was a global pandemic and myself and other prominent Democrats were pushing for a shutdown in the country for an extended period of time, forcing employers to lay off employees because they could not afford to keep them, with businesses being shut down for an extended period of time. Tell the whole truth, Nancy. Kudos to this MSNBC reporter. This is probably the only time she'll ever be accused of being a Donald Trump sympathizer. Because how dare she move away from the narrative? And this is what I don't like about politicians. They're only interested in their narratives. And I keep saying this. It doesn't matter what the party is. This is not a party thing. They're all the same. Whether they're Democrat, Republican, Independent, they're all the same. And so this idea that one is better than the other, I can't wait for people to wake up and stop pitting sides based on letters and start choosing candidates based on ideas. Because the truth is, it's ideas that are going to maintain the country. Because it was ideas that built the country that has lasted as long as we have, and it seems to show no signs of slowing down. Where are the candidates with the ideas? Because it's time to put the old fogies into retirement. Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, and countless others have been here for over 30 years. It's time to go home. It's time to go enjoy the grandkids, enjoy retirement, enjoy the hundreds of $millions that you made, Nancy Pelosi, since being in Congress. We're good. It's time for some new blood. And on that note, I'm out.